we talked about The Rock, but we're not sure if The Rock is actually going to come back. I mentioned a dark horse candidate in Seth Rollins, and we talked about that. If you missed it, go to the SiriusXM app or the Busted Open podcast. But, Bully, I think the top three in our estimation would be Punk, Roman, and John Cena. So I want to go through all three and who we think and give a reason why they may win. Let's start with John Cena. This is John Cena's farewell tour. Now, I actually just watched, John Cena was a guest with Shannon Sharp on Club Shay Shay, his podcast, and he talked about this being his last year, and they talked about him being tied, like Shannon Sharp brought up the fact that he's tied with Ric Flair for the 16 championships. And John Cena kind of gives like an answer like, you know, whatever happens, happens. And John Cena's been pretty clear that he didn't need to go after the championship. He's been very clear, even on that podcast, about, hey, you know what? I don't want to take an opportunity away from somebody else. I don't want to be one of those legends. And I almost felt like he was taking a shot at The Rock. I don't want to be one of those people that comes in at the last minute before WrestleMania, get a championship title opportunity when I haven't been here, and then taking it away from somebody who's been more deserving and that people have been watching all year. So in the back of my mind, I don't know if Cena really wants this championship opportunity. But you go back to Monday Night Raw last week, Bully, and he talked about the Rumble and how he could get that opportunity if he wins. Do you think John Cena deserves and should have a championship opportunity at WrestleMania?
Based on business? Abso-frickin-lutely. See, I'm going to answer you now from the business end of it. Because as a fan, I love Cody and Punk. As a fan, I love Cody and Cena. As a fan, I love Cody and Roman. As a fan, I love Cody and Rock. All of those matches interest me in one way, shape, or form. Put a gun to my head, I'm going Cody Rock. Now, let's talk, like I said, business. John Cena, Cody Rhodes, business-wise, absolutely. People will be tuning in. People will want to see on many different levels, whether I'm live in the arena that night, whether I'm watching on pay-per-view or Peacock or Netflix or wherever the hell this thing is carried. People will want to see if John Cena is going to, quote unquote, break the record that I think that Cena holds already. So that's, I don't believe in that whole Ric Flair record thing, because I think John Cena already has the record for WWE championships. Ric Flair has the record for overall championships.
Yeah, but Bully, they're playing up on that. See,
I understand.
I know your stance on it. I have a certain stance on it. But John Cena specifically brought up Ric Flair's 16 title runs on Monday Night Raw. So this is coming out of his mouth. So they can make a story out of it. So you could have, and then you have now, like John Cena, when you look at the heyday of John Cena, Bully, you're talking 15 years ago now. So now you have a unique opportunity here where you could have, like you always talk about the parents taking their kids to see the WWE. If you had John Cena versus Cody, in essence, you're going to have fathers who watch John Cena and his heyday taking their kids who are now watching Cody Rhodes in his heyday. This is like a perfect type of opportunity if you wanted to do it. This is a pretty big moment between parents and kids right here with Cena and Cody.
Farewell tour, trying to break the record. Cody before Cody, because Cena wrote the handbook on how to get the kids. It writes itself. It's a no-brainer. Cena Cody checks so many boxes. And
really
for a guy who goes on Shannon Sharp and says, I don't want to be that kind of guy, but on Monday Night Raw, when you left it up to the people and said, should I enter the Rumble? The whole place went ballistic. 18,000 people on Netflix went crazy when John said that. So if you were to tell me right now you're getting Cody and Cena I love it because the story is there, and I know it's going to be a good match.
And you could actually, you know, when we talk about the WWE in certain moments like this, already you're starting to think about the video package, right? The build up towards that match, but then the video package after that match. This is custom made for that, Bully. It really is.
And what moment have we seen already between Cody and Cena that you can use to wrap that entire video package around?
Well, we saw them both at the top of that entrance ramp where John Cena lifted up Cody's arm. And I actually came on the air the next day and said, I felt that was like a passing of the torch moment. You're like, no, Dave. The passing of the torch moment does not happen on an entrance ramp. It happens in the ring. So you could see Cena lifting up Cody's arm. You can almost see like a father and son or mother and daughter standing side by side, the parent having tears in her eyes, saying goodbye to John Cena in his last ever WrestleMania, and then the kids cheering on their hero, Cody Rhodes, in a moment. And go ahead.
Listen, if this idea just popped into my head, so I have to run with it.
Go ahead.
I know WrestleMania won't be John's last match because he said he's sticking around until December of 25, right?
Yes.
All right. But I just want you to picture this for a moment as far as the passing of the torch. Cody versus Cena. Cody wins. Cena is a dejected mess he's not a dejected mess. He's upset with himself that he lost. This was his opportunity to break the record. This is probably his last WrestleMania. Damn, I couldn't get the job done. The music cuts. Cody's standing in the corner with the championship on his shoulder. John is still sitting in the middle of the ring with his head down low. Cody can walk over to go to help John up. John doesn't want help up. John unlaces his boots, takes his boots off. John Cena does not leave his boots in the middle of the ring. John Cena hands his boots to Cody.
Or sneakers.
Yeah, whatever.
His high tops.
You get it. You get it, though, right? Like, that would be a passing of the torch moment. Something like that, something that we've never seen before. I'm not saying they have to do that exactly. I'm just saying I don't think I've ever seen that before. But something that definitively puts the final stamp of approval. Cody's there. Don't get me. Cody is there. We could talk all day long about whether Cody's really a heel and is Cody one step away from the fans ever, turning on him. Absolutely. But Cody is that one monster win away. That monster moment. Well,
can I throw something out there?
Yeah.
Could you compare that to Hogan Andre?
No, nothing is comparable to Hogan Andre. Let's not ever. Hogan Andre is the be all and end it all. I don't care how you feel about Hulk Hogan. I don't care how you feel about the match, blah, blah, blah. Nothing will ever be Hogan and Andre again. Nothing. Not even Rock Austin was Hogan Andre.
No, and also I think the biggest thing here, and we'll get into it more when we talk about, CM Punk. Yeah, you're probably going to have like a split crowd chanting. You're going to have "Let's go Cena, let's go Cody" chants. But when that match is over and you see that passing of the torch moment, Cody's going to get a standing ovation. John Cena is going to get a standing ovation. Like John Cena is in no shape, way, or form is going to try to take anything away from Cody. He is going to be very, very giving to Cody Rhodes. In a lot of ways, this is the perfect situation for Cody and John Cena, quite frankly, because, John Cena, I think in my heart of hearts, John Cena, because look he hasn't won a match in over 2,000 days. He's not concerned about that, in my opinion.
And you know what the beauty of the loss is? Like, there's so many reasons why Cena could lose, and it's not going to matter. But could you imagine the night after WrestleMania on Raw or Smack, where it doesn't even matter where this happens? I'd love to see it happen the next night. Cena comes out to cut the promo and, says whatever he's going to say. And all of a sudden, Randy's music hits. And Randy comes out and he looks at John and he goes, now that you got that out of your system, you ready to finally end this? And you pick up with Randy and Cena. There's so many things you can do.
Oh, yeah. This doesn't have to be because we know he's going to December. And that brings up another point. I was actually listening to the Sunday show yesterday with Jonathan Hood and Justin LaBar, and they were talking about this. Like, we know that his last match is going to be in December. John Cena's made it clear he wants to wrestle through the entire year. For that last match, Bully, and we could talk opponents, and we'll probably have those conversations as we get closer to the end. But there's no pay-per-view scheduled for December. Where is that last match? Do you create
Madison
a pay-per-view?
Square Garden or the Boston Gardens?
I think it should be the Boston Garden. I really think it should be the Boston Garden.
John was very adamant about his being from Boston and West, wherever the hell he came from, that west part of Boston. So, yes, I could definitely, see that West Newbury. I could definitely see that last match being TD Waterhouse, if that's the Boston Garden, whatever the hell they call it. However, that MSG show in December, that's a big deal. Hey, where did you have your last match? Madison Square Garden. If your last two matches were in your home arena of the TD Gardens and Madison Square Garden, that's a hell of a 1-2 to go out.
Do you also do maybe it being televised? Is that on a Monday Night Raw? Is that on a Saturday night's main event?
Absolutely. Saturday night's main event, live from Madison Square Garden, John Cena's last match. Come on.
I do want to get into CM Punk and Roman Reigns as well. And let's get into CM Punk. Because CM Punk, and we've talked a lot on this show that CM Punk, even as world champion, never got an opportunity to main event WrestleMania. Last year at the Royal Rumble, he gets injured, Bully, and all the talk was it was going to be him and Seth in a main event match at WrestleMania, probably main eventing night number 1. That never happened. This is another opportunity. Let's make a case for CM Punk winning the Royal Rumble this year. What do you think are the chances, Bully? And if CM Punk was to win the Royal Rumble, who is he going after?
There's as good of a chance as Punk winning the Rumble as anybody else. Punk came out and said he wants to win the Rumble. Going to, getting the main event spot at WrestleMania. Now, there's still a story left untold. Punk can lose the Royal Rumble and still get into the main event spot at WrestleMania. How? Punk can lose the Rumble and still get into the main event spot at WrestleMania. And I'm not, and let's get rid of the option of the Elimination Chamber.
All right, you're getting rid of the option of the Elimination Chamber because even he mentioned that there's some way. It would have to be that favor that he asked Paul Heyman.
Ding, ding, ding. Circle gets the square. I would love to see how that's going to play out. Loses the Rumble. Maybe loses the Elimination Chamber. Tells Paul, I'm ready to cash in on my favor.
See, now it makes sense because you look back at that and we all try to figure out, or what could that mean? Oh, it's Paul Heyman could influence the favor. Well, yeah, but Roman's not the champ. How could Heyman do that? But who knows, Bully? Maybe by the time we get to WrestleMania, the landscape has completely changed.
Could you imagine? How's this for soap opera? Could you imagine if Roman wins the Rumble and Roman is going to do exactly what he said and face Cody? And Punk goes to Paul and says, I need you to talk Roman Reigns out of his match and give it to me. Holy shit. You want to talk about intriguing? Paul Heyman caught in between Roman Reigns and CM Punk right before WrestleMania. Roman wins the match. Could you imagine the look on Paul? I know the look on Paul's face. I know what look Paul would use. Like come on. What are you doing to me over here? Like when Punk says, this is my favor. And you kind of play it up like it's the Godfather asking for his favor back in return.
Yeah, it's almost, I could see it now. Punk going up to Heyman and said, Paul, I'm ready. As you asked me, I'm ready to cash in on my favor. And Paul Heyman said, absolutely, anything you want, Punk, anything you want, it's yours. I want Roman's spot at WrestleMania. And then, like you said, that expression on Heyman's face, like, that's intriguing. You talk about a story. And listen, somehow, some way, and I think, Bully, you would agree with me.
That will get Punk booed.
Maybe. I don't know, Bully. I really don't know. The way these fans are.
That's a sleazy way of getting into WrestleMania.
The way these fans are.
No, I don't think the fans would like it. But it's an intriguing story. You don't think that's okay? Maybe it's just me. You don't think that is incredibly intriguing and entertaining?
No doubt about it. It is. My whole thing is how to get the fans to turn on CM Punk. You're right. It is the heelish thing to do. But man, those diehard Punk fans love Punk. And maybe they don't care. Maybe the WWE doesn't care. Maybe that's not the end game anyway. I don't know. See, this is where, and Bully, I'm not going to go down this road, but just quickly say, that's what made last Monday so frustrating for me. It's like with The Rock. All right, now you want us to buy into The Rock and forget about what was handed between them and you want us to forget all this stuff. This is something you cannot just like brush off and make fans forget. That favor has got to be a small piece in a much bigger story. So I think we made a good case for CM Punk, Bully. Maybe it does go back to that favor, that Heyman. So that makes definitively that he's going after Cody Rhodes, right?
If Punk were to win the Rumble or to win the Elimination Chamber, because you can get into one of the main event spots by winning if you win the Rumble, you get to choose, and then if you win the Elimination Chamber, you get to choose whoever has not been chosen, correct?
Yeah, it depends on how they do it. It's always something a little bit different, but yes.
Okay. So if Punk doesn't win either one of those, if Punk wins, the favor story is null and void unless the favor goes past WrestleMania. Unless they hold on to the favor until SummerSlam. The thing about the favor is you don't have to do it right now if Punk wins the Rumble or the Chamber. But if he doesn't win any one of them, then I would think that CM Punk would be cashing in on that favor.
Yeah, and I firmly believe, Bully, that whoever wins the Rumble is going to be going after Cody's championship. And I think with the Elimination Chamber, I think that's going to be built around Gunther's championship. And who knows, maybe Gunther will be defending that championship at the Royal Rumble. So I really think that the Rumble is going to be centric to Cody. So Punk Cody, let's just say Punk wins the Rumble or that favor's cashed in. Punk and Cody. Is that a way to go at WrestleMania 41? Punk Cody?
Absolutely. People will be just as much as they will be tuned in to see if John Cena can win 17. They will be tuned in to see if CM Punk, who is beyond the fan favorite right now, can defeat Cody and have his WrestleMania moment.
Can I throw out I know we're talking about those main three, but can I throw out another dark horse in this scenario, Bully?
Sure.
Randy Orton.
It just it doesn't resonate the same way for me for some reason.
Randy Orton comes back and wins the Royal Rumble. Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania.
Absolutely, because of their backstory, but you don't need to do it at WrestleMania with that story.
Randy Orton has to come back at some point.
Sure.
I mean, he's been gone now for quite a while.
Who put Randy on the shelf?
Kevin.
Last man standing, Kevin and Randy, WrestleMania.
All right.
I mean, that's right.
That's what we're just throwing out scenarios. That's what this is all about.
I'd much rather see Randy come back against the guy who gave him that pile driver than see Randy versus Cody right now.
And again, like Kevin Owens is out there and, doing heelish things, but I got to say, Kevin Owens is definitely speaking some truth as well when it comes to the bloodline and when it comes to Cody Rhodes. Now, the fans don't want to hear it. The fans, like Bully, the fans are definitively against Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens is speaking some truth when he goes on the microphone.
Let me ask you this. Who has spoken? I'm going to give you three options. Here are my top three guys who have spoken the truth in the past year. Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. Everything Drew said to Punk, dead on balls. Everything Seth said to Punk, dead on balls. Everything that Kevin is saying to Cody, dead on balls. Out of those three, who did you believe or who do you believe the most?
I believe Seth the most.
Interesting. I believe Kevin the most.
I can understand because
for me, Kevin speaks with more conviction. Kevin speaks in a way where he's going, I don't believe it. Am I the only one that sees this? It's his tone and his conviction where I'm like, oh my God, he's got a point.
But you know what's funny, Bully, that you say Kevin Owens, because with Drew McIntyre, I thought he was speaking truth, but the fans weren't biting. But I think near the end, there were some fans like myself that was like, you know what, I'm on Drew's side here. When it comes to Seth Rollins was still getting cheered. Seth Rollins still had the entrance. But with Kevin Owens, nobody believes in Kevin Owens. I mean, nobody. Like, this guy has been speaking the truth for not days, not weeks, but months. And Bully, you could definitively say Kevin Owens has won over 0 people. 0. Like, the more truth he speaks, the more the people hate him. Like, he can't do anything good in the fans' eyes.
I think he speaks with such conviction.
I agree with, like, me as the biggest Cody fan, I'm listening to Kevin Owens. I'm like, he's got to, like, on Friday, he brought up the Rock stuff. And I'm like, holy shit, he's right. And he's getting booed, showered. I mean, the fans even were cheering for Cody even more. And I'm like, this poor guy is out there on an island completely by himself. Completely by himself. Like, there is nobody on Team Kevin Owens. Even the guys that you would think would side with him aren't siding with him, which I find very, very interesting. And he is making it work for him. It's unbelievable. It really is. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right. And then we're going to get to the callers at the top of the hour. Roman Reigns. This one's like a no-brainer. Roman Reigns, to me, probably has the biggest case here, Bully, because I feel like Roman Reigns and that championship kind of are one. It feels weird with Roman not having this championship.
Are you as invested in Roman and Cody as you are Punk or Cena or Rock? Does Cody Roman 2 do it for you?
It does, but I'm with you that the match that they made that everybody wanted to see was Cody Rock. Like, if we don't see Cody Rock, then I think there's going to be a lot of people talking like, why didn't this happen? Then why did we see everything last year that we saw? Something must have went awry. And I think That's going to
Again.
get fans.
Again.
Yeah, and I think even more fans are going to question The Rock and why it happened. But I still wouldn't mind seeing Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes now for a third time, because that would be 3 years and 3 WrestleManias in a row.
I mean, just based on right now, Roman is a fan favorite. Cody is a fan favorite. If I'm going to see fan favorite versus fan favorite, I'd rather see Cena in that spot.
No, and because unless the only thing I could see is if they're going to turn Roman Reigns heel. But even like if you had Roman Reigns and The Rock.
You don't turn Roman Reigns heel right now. You don't turn CM Punk heel right now. What did we learn from the Netflix show? What was the very first thing we spoke about on Tuesday morning after Netflix? Do you remember?
About Punk?
No.
About Punk?
The overall feeling of the Netflix show, the overall thing that the WWE is a babyface territory.
Yeah, and they went in on that full tilt last Monday on Raw.
All the baby faces went over on Raw.
All right, so then in this scenario, if you're making me rank Punk, Cena, Roman's a definitive third on that list.
That's fine. Listen, if Roman is third, he's third by just a tiny bit. Like all those, it's 1A, 1B to me. I'm just telling you what, and I'm throwing Rock back into the equation. To me, there is no bigger main event for WrestleMania this year than The Rock versus Cody Rhodes. Not because it's The Rock. It's because of the story that The Rock and Cody told me with the ... to be continued.